In today's Lexoda news, the upcoming Land Cruiser 300 gets a launch window finally. Toyota hybrids reach an incredible milestone, and the Lexus RX gets a pretty neat special edition. Welcome back to the channel, Luxurious Fleet. If you're new here, my name is Kirk, and this channel is dedicated to bringing you guys the latest in Toyota and Lexus news. So make sure to click the subscribe button and bell icon if the Japanese automaker holds a special place in your heart. Over at Mag X, next Land Cruiser scheduled for debut next spring. Now this is translated from Japanese, so it doesn't read that well. They will be keeping the diesel in it for Japan, of course, probably for Middle Eastern markets. They say it was originally planned to appear this summer, but they wanted to redesign the exterior and the reliability of the upcoming powertrains, which supposedly is a twin-turbo V6 and possibly a hybridization of that motor as well. So the debut in spring of 2021 is currently planned, which to me is a little bit sooner than I was expecting. However, we might not get the new Land Cruiser here in America. I should say the Land Cruiser 300. The recent rumors suggest that we're going to get a more off-road focused version of the Land Cruiser, and this will be more reserved for the next LX, the LX 600. Over at the press room, Toyota postpones North American operations until week of May 11th. I don't need to read too much into this, but they first started making delays and shutdowns in mid to late March, and they just keep pushing it back because this whole situation is super unpredictable. So yeah, no more Toyotas, at least here in North America, being produced, and that's going to include all of your Lexuses that are built either in the Kentucky plant, but also in the Canadian plant as well. Speaking of Canada, make time for amazing in the 2020 RX Experience Editions. So Lexus is celebrating 30 years in Canada, so they must just be 1 year behind us here in America. All right, so this limited production RX Experience Edition features an exclusive color scheme and add-ons, including a dash cam and a 1 year's Park Canada Discovery Pass to encourage them to explore the country in style and luxury. They feature an exclusive nori green body color paired with birch white interior. I don't know how that's super unique. Nori green's been on the car since introduction of the 2020 refresh, and birch has been on there as well, unless the birch white is a little bit different, and Lexus has slightly different names for their paint colors and interiors as well around the world. This doesn't sound like a super special color combination by any means. What we don't get here in America is this Lexus Genuine dash cam, which they say allows them to capture their outdoor experience when adventure beckons, but it also can capture accidents and keep the driver safe. So they say this special edition will cost the same as the executive package, which here in America is the luxury package. It will have power folding rear seats. If it's going to have power folding rear seats, to my knowledge, it's always paired with heated rear seats in the RX. It's the only way you can get heated rear seats in the RX is if you have power folding rear seats, which are slow and almost worthless for 99% of the population. Now they also get a wireless charging system for compatible personal electronics. We don't even get an option here in America for wireless charging. Oh, but you can get it in Canada. The irony of this is that they must have started planning this special edition before the coronavirus, because if you see this asterisk, Parks Canada has closed its national parks and historic sites due to social distancing efforts. Lexus Canada will distribute Parks Canada Discovery Passes directly to each guest when Parks Canada reopens their facilities. Now over at the European newsroom, they sat down with Lexus Electrified Chief Engineer Takashi Watanabe. He's been with Lexus for a really long time. If you guys are interested in Lexus Electrified and their electric products coming in the future, definitely take a look at this. There's no information here, like zip, zilch, none. It was just all fluff. I don't know, I don't really understand why Lexus does things like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know they had a Lexus Electrified Chief Engineer. I'm watching it, I'm like waiting for some information to drop. No, it was just all fluff. Toyota Corolla Cross spied for the first time in Thailand. Well, there it is. That's about all the looks we're gonna get of it. I hope they bring it here to America, and I hope that this is that vehicle they're gonna build alongside a Mazda down in Alabama, but it keeps getting delayed because of the coronavirus. So that plant was supposed to be up and producing a crossover similar to this size in 2021, but I think they have delayed that to 2022 now. But what this looks like to me, and it's a big nostalgia for me and my family, this looks like a return of the Matrix. I don't think they're gonna call it the Matrix again, unless they keep it the Matrix here in America and they keep it the Cross everywhere else. Yeah, it's gonna have all-wheel drive just like the Matrix did back in the day, and of course, it's probably going to have electric all-wheel drive, as that seems to be a very inexpensive way for them to add all-wheel drive to their hybrids in their entire lineup, really. Exciting times. I love the Corolla. My in-laws have a Corolla. I have a Corolla pretty much as a Matrix, which is a Cross variant of it. Sales, production, export results for March 2020. Well, brace yourselves, guys. This isn't very good news. I'm not gonna break this down because it would take forever, so definitely pause this video if you want to see where they're at. Sales outside of Japan are minus 29%. Worldwide sales, including the domestic market in Japan, is almost down 24%. The crazy thing is, if you look here, sales inside of Japan weren't affected that much by the coronavirus, but I have a strong feeling that April is going to look much, much more grim than these numbers. You can see production results down up to 25% outside of Japan. Inside Japan, down 13%. So yeah, production's down, and April numbers, if they're down this much in March, imagine what they're going to be in April. I was about ready to post this video, and then I got this new updated information on the LC convertible. Not a whole lot of groundbreaking information here, but you get some cool new pictures. Multi-layered roof can be raised and lowered in 15 seconds. It's been tested 18,000 times to ensure lasting quality. That's the thing about Lexus, man. That's a reason why their products come out so slowly, is because they test these things to oblivion and back. And the new roof even contributes to the car's dynamic handling. And why is the roof multi-layered? Well, it's affected on blocking out unwanted noise. Now, this is what absolutely blew my mind reading this, because the LC500 doesn't have that much trunk space at all. It's very shallow. You might be able to get like one set of clubs in there. The LC convertible offers just as much room in the luggage compartment as the coupe model at 172 liters. As clever engineering and design have enabled the top to be folded in between the rear suspension towers for its hydraulic motor unit to be fitted in the empty space behind the rear seats. And that also explains why there's never going to be a hybrid version of this, because there'd just be no room for that battery pack either. All right, so what about the handling? Thanks to its main parts being set within the car's wheelbase, it actually lowers the center of gravity than the coupe, key to its excellent balance and great driving character. Lexus even used a rare combination of magnesium and aluminum to keep the weight of the roof's frame to a minimum without compromising quality performance. For me, the LC convertible right now is my favorite Lexus, and I haven't even driven it. The LC500 is, hard to argue that it's not my favorite Lexus at the moment. It's probably the best vehicle they make. Sales don't reflect that, but it's kind of a very niche, small market thing. And its competitors are very strong, and they have a very long track record, such as the 911. But the LC convertible, I can only imagine what that thing would sound like with the top down, and my dream is to own one of these. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I will eventually bring an LC convertible on the channel one day. And huge milestone, Toyota passes 15 million hybrid electric vehicles global sales. Okay, so this started back in 1997 with the launch of the Prius. So they now offer 44 individual models, which supposedly has reduced 120 million tons of CO2 emissions. Now this is at the European newsroom, so it's going to tell us more about the European market. but the company has sold over 2.8 million hybrid cars, and they say they're leading the automaker towards EU CO2 reduction targets in 2020 and 2021. Now we got some juicy nuggets here down a little bit lower. Hybrid naturally leads to battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. While Toyota believes that hybrid electric vehicles are an essential part of the future overall mix of electrified vehicles, 2 decades of electrification experience also feed into the company's multi-powertrain strategy. The company provides and will continue to provide various types of electrified vehicles to reduce emissions based on regulations, market infrastructure, and ultimately customer demand. Now I have to insert here that Toyota also thinks there's zero demand of EVs here in America, but that's not exactly true, is it? Toyota does not see a one-winner-takes-all scenario, but a future where different electrified technologies, including hybrids, plug-ins, fuel cell, and battery electric vehicles all play a part. A little insight into why we don't have more battery electric vehicles. Of course, we must work hard on improving battery performance and lowering costs. That's really what it comes down to, which they are doing. We must avoid having no plan until we overcome the hurdles related to both BEV and fuel cell electric vehicles. In the meantime, we can contribute by continuing to work on our hybrids. Now, if you didn't know, Toyota is planning to launch 40 new or updated electrified vehicles by 2025 across all technologies, including at least 10 BEVs. I think that's a typo. 10 battery electric vehicles instead of ZEVs. Could you take a stab what ZEV might stand for? If you guys made it this far, make sure to hit the like button. I just had so much news that I couldn't cover in multiple videos, so I just condensed it all into one. I probably would have liked to spend more time on that LC convertible, but what do you guys think? Are you happy about the news? Land Cruiser 300 coming out in the next coming spring, which is, I guess, a surprise for me. I thought it was coming out maybe in late 2021 or maybe in 2022. So that will be exciting if it does come true to be in the next spring. So I'll see you guys in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.